Yay.
How are you?
Great. How are you?
Yeah, good. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for coming on. It's been so exciting talking to you and been following you for a while now. So I'm excited to
Yeah,
have
yeah.
you on.
It's you're in Brazil, right? No, where are you?
I'm on the Sunshine Coast in Queensland,
Queensland. Where is that? In which country?
Australia.
Ah, it's Australia. That's it. You are the other way. Yeah, yeah, that's it. So it's quite late for you.
Yeah. It's 7 o'clock at night. So
7 o'clock. Okay,
I'm
it's not too
looking like
bad.
it's the morning kind of.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
morning for you in London, right?
Yeah, it's 10 o'clock. Yeah, 10 o'clock. Just back from the
Oh,
gym. Yeah.
Oh, amazing. Oh, well, once again, thank you for coming on. I really appreciate your time today. And I know a lot of my community is going to be very excited. A few of them have been asking me questions about facial cupping and things like that.
Uh-huh.
Obviously, I really love it. I do it myself, but it's not my
Yeah.
expertise. So I thought we'd get an expert on like yourself to talk to my community and share the message about what you do and how you started doing it. A lot of them have already seen your Instagram, but it's nice to have this one-on-one chat. And yeah, so how did you start? I know you were an acupuncturist and you had your own clinic, but how did you get into studying traditional Chinese medicine and acupuncture?
Okay, so I actually have a very different background. I studied
Mm.
economics. Mainly when I
Ah,
finished, when I finished my level A, I was like, I don't know what to do with my life. I don't know. And I remember I was like attracted to a school for perfume.
oh, wow.
Yeah, to smell. I really like the smell, And then I
Yep.
said, no, we cannot do a career, like it's interesting how, society put in your head like you need to have you need to have a safe path, like. And I was like, I don't know what to do. And I remember there was a girl in my class who started to, at the end of the level A, wanted to study a traditional Chinese medicine, and I was like, how can you even think about that? I mean, I was really impressed, but I was
Oh,
almost
wow.
scared, like for
Yeah.
anyway. So I studied economics, like hardcore economics, and then at the time it was 2000. In year 2000, there was like some a contract between different countries, and I could have a year in Canada. So I did my third year in Canada, economics again. And I was thinking, okay, it's not what I want to do with my life. I really want to do something else. And somebody gave me a book about Buddhism. So everything was
Oh,
about trying to find, like more meaning into my life. And when I came back, I decided to study still again economic, but social economics, trying to
yeah.
be more caring for people. And then so I did a bit of social economics, and I started to work actually uh, in a place where they could have like sustainable toilet. It makes no
Oh,
sense maybe for you, like how in festival we could put like something
oh,
sustainable, because a lot of people take drug and it goes after
yes.
into the river and it's really bad.
Yes.
So I started to
Yes.
develop a project
Oh,
upon that.
wow.
And but I was thinking it's not what I want to do with my life. I wanted to do something like something different. And then
Wow.
I met a girl who had a car accident,
Yes.
and she was really really nice. And she was paralyzed from one side of the face.
Mm-hmm.
And she said the only thing that worked for her was acupuncture. And
Wow.
I started to look into acupuncture. I was thinking, I really want to do something to help people. And when she started to tell me a story, I started to have acupuncture myself. And I was thinking, okay, let's change career and let's study that. I mean,
Wow.
it's a bit random, but yeah, it takes time to find your path in life. And now I have children, and I'm thinking, even going to school, is it the right thing? Like trying to find your passion. I mean, I feel like going to school, it represses your passion. It doesn't
Mm.
try to express what you're
Mm.
meant to do in life. And
Mm.
and yeah. Yeah, so and then when you find the thing that you're supposed to do, it clicks, it resonates with you. You are on a positive vibration in a way, and
Of course.
and that was great to be able to study something, and then after to give back, to society, trying to help people, and
Yeah.
that's it.
So where did you study your bachelor degree, or how did you study?
Yeah, so I studied next to London in Reading.
Yeah.
And it was for 3 years and a half, 4 years, of but I loved it, like once again, when when you study, and then you already, you have patient as well. I remember my first patient.
You're like, they're coming to
Very,
see me.
yeah, it's amazing. First you start at college, to have, so you're supervised, and I had a very interesting case for my first case. um and yeah, and then that's it. After you graduate, and then after you open your clinic, and then I went on a cruise ship where I did acupuncture for a year, which was
Wow.
amazing, because it's you can see so many patients, because
Yes.
sometimes it's difficult to build up your practice, especially when you just graduate. So I went on a cruise ship pretty straight away, and then I was asked, so like thousands of patients in 1 year. Like it was mad, because like people go on a cruise every week, and
Yeah.
they also have a lot of money, and so they
Yeah.
come instead of coming just for once, once a week, like you see mostly patients in
Yes.
the UK, or like
Yes.
when you have your private practice, people book for, because they have a special price, for 3 or 5 sessions in a week.
Yes.
It was mad, because it was a bit like in China. In China they treat every day until you feel better, kind of.
Yeah.
And so I was able to practice so much. I gave so much treatment every week, a new patient, trying, and it was just the best, amazing experience. And you're supposed to give talks as well, so you really like you are the professional on board to talk about acupuncture. So
Wow.
yeah, it was very, very good.
Those clients, I'm segueing here, but those clients on the cruise ship, would you just give them like a once-off treatment, or they were on like a 5-day cruise and then you could treat them every day kind of thing?
Yeah, no, they were on a 1 week or sometimes 2 weeks when we went to Hawaii. It was so nice. And
Wow.
they could come mostly they would come 3 times.
Yeah.
It was the most taken package, sometimes 5. I had a few 5 times, and sometime once, but mostly they were coming 3 times. So which means you really have time to treat them, and also they are on holiday, so you can also
Mm.
give them some, they want to unwind,
Mm.
and you can give them like some food advice, it was a perfect environment to treat somebody.
Wow, this is
Yeah.
amazing information, because I never knew this about you. Like, I've kind of stalked you on your Instagram, but
Yeah.
so this is amazing to get this background from you. And how did it all segue with the cosmetic acupuncture and adding in like the gua sha and your facial cupping and how did that all start? Because you have such a
So
solid background in your acupuncture.
yeah, so facial coming came after the cruise, but for the cruise, a lot of people, they were coming for cosmetic acupuncture, and I had
Okay.
already trained in cosmetic acupuncture before anyway, so
Mm-hmm.
it was nice, like I was just
Mm-hmm.
doing my cosmetic acupuncture on the cruise,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of pain, but then facial cupping came after, when I
Mm-hmm.
came back from the cruise. So I moved to Edinburgh in Scotland,
Yep.
north of the UK.
Yep.
And very quickly I had somebody coming for one of the first patients when I opened my practice in Scotland, was somebody with Bell palsy,
Okay.
which means paralysis of one side of the face. So I
Yep.
gave her some acupuncture like I usually do, but I wanted to give her a bit of, I wanted to give her cupping. I wanted to give her massage. I also was trained in
Hands
massage.
on. You
Give her
want to
some
be, yeah.
hands on. I wanted to do something else. When your intuition says, you need to move the chi, move the blood, you need to do something. And I wanted to do cupping, but the only thing is like, cupping, that's what we learn as acupuncturist, is fire cupping with glass, so you put the glass, you put some fire into the glass,
Yep.
you quickly
It's like
turn
moxa,
it
isn't
upside.
it? Is it that like
No, it's different.
oh, different?
No,
Okay.
completely. Yeah, moxa is different, but Yeah, it's so cupping is like, so you put some fire inside a glass cup.
Yep.
And you turn it quickly so it removes the oxygen and it creates a negative pressure or suction.
Yep.
And I wanted to do that on the face, but obviously you're not gonna put fire next to the face. So I remember Googling on, it was 2011, I think, Googling, facial cup. Like I wanted cups for the face.
Yeah.
And I just discovered this little silicone cup from South Korea, I think. So I ordered it on eBay or whatever website it was.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't popular, like it's 13 years ago.
Yeah.
So I just ordered it. I remember I had a pink, green, and I started to do cupping on the face and following the nerve.
Yeah.
The seventh nerve on the face, facial nerve, and it really made such a difference. Like I remember her crying, saying it's amazing. We did amazing progress very quickly. So I must have given her the cup. It wasn't expensive, and to show her the direction of the nerve, and she could do it at home as well.
Yep.
And I was thinking, and after that, I had another patient who had like a trigeminal neuralgia, which is inflammation of the nerve.
Yep.
Of facial nerve as well, and of the trigeminal nerve. And I did the same thing, and it really, really helped her. And I was thinking, look, if we can help somebody who lost muscle strength, I'm gonna use facial cupping into my acupuncture treatment. I mean, in my cosmetic acupuncture treatment. It makes sense.
Yes.
It makes sense. Yeah, so I started, okay, I was doing my usual cosmetic acupuncture treatments, and after that I was, okay, let's do some facial cupping, and people just loved it. They were coming, some people that just wanted the cup, I said, no, I want to put the needle first, but yeah, and then I just did my protocol, like then you just, develop your own, like you are a beauty therapist and you also develop your own protocol, your own special signature treatments, so by doing, you learning, and that's it.
Yeah. Oh, amazing. That's so beautiful that, organically it started from a condition that's quite severe for people, like, obviously it's really important that, we want to look after ourselves as best as we can. And if that's including anti-aging, then fantastic. But I think it's great to have, like that story, like Bell's palsy and conditions like that. And if it's making that much of a difference, then that is very positive for the future of the cosmetic industry in regards to people using botox and things like that. If we have this level of evidence, like yourself, what you said. So this one might be a bit simple for you to explain, but some people don't really know what facial cupping is. And I posted something before about you doing your facial cupping, and you've mentioned it's the silicone cups. So would you be able to maybe talk through, because I know there's a bit of confusion between gua sha and that being more lymphatic, and then the facial cupping being more muscular tension relief, as far as I'm aware. And you mentioned the nerves there. Would you be able to talk to my community about that?
Yeah, of course, yes. So with cupping, so you use a cupping instrument. It can be of glass, of bamboo. It started like years and years ago. They were using like corns of animal, how do you say corns? Horns.
Yeah.
And
Oh
they
my
were
God.
making a little hole at the end of the horn, and they were sucking the air, to be able to create a negative pressure. Negative pressure, it means suction. Okay, so you want to create a suction. So this negative pressure, it will lift the different layer of tissue. And sometimes there is like facial adhesion, especially like in acne scarring, because I know we wanted to talk about acne scar.
We do,
So like when you have an acne scar, sometimes the facial adhesion is very strong. The tissue are stuck together because they were trying to repair, and there is like a stagnation of blood, of qi. And you when you do the cupping, you lift all these different layer of skin, and you make all the blood circulating, the qi circulating, the lymph circulating. It's really it's lifting, actually. It's lifting. and it doesn't last long. You know, you don't leave the cup for a long time when it's on the
No.
face. On the body is different. So it's just like a short suction pulling of the skin to release all this adhesion, this stagnation, to be able for the flow of blood, of chi, of lymph to flow again, you know. And beauty is where the flow is, you know. You want to flow, you want to flow, you don't want to stagnate.
You want to flow and you want to glow.
Exactly, but the glow comes with the flow, you know.
Exactly.
It's very interesting when you see somebody beautiful. Now I'm really much, I want to stop dyeing my hair. I don't know how much time we have together, but I'm dyeing my hair. And I dyed my hair yesterday, you know. Like it's when I see I have so much white and I really want to go white, but I'm scared. I'm not really complete to do the transition. But I was looking on internet, on Instagram. I follow some account about, you know, silver, the silver sister, you know, and they look so beautiful. And in fact, you can see the flow, the glow comes from the flow, you know. It doesn't matter if you have red, you know, like if you have white hair, if you have wrinkles, you know. I think really beauty, we're focusing too much on how we look, but we don't realize that actually we will look more beautiful if we have the glow, if we have the flow. I really think there is a thing about beauty and flow. And white hair or not white hair, it depends on how the flow is. No, I don't know.
No, this is a great topic to talk about because, you know, I'm obviously an acne naturopath, but I love anti-aging and I love, you know, longevity and researching the blue zones in certain areas around the world. And I think, there's just, I could lose myself in that type of research. And that's my next course that I'd love to be able to do.
Beautiful.
But I agree, you know, you see certain women and they just have almost like an essence about themselves or an aura about them, and they're confident, you know, whether they have gray hair or whatever stage in life they're in. And you can't cup that, you know, like you can to a degree, but like you can't inject that, you can't cup that, you can't supplement that. As much as, you know, we want to use natural and we want to support the body's natural ability to heal because we have that capacity. But I agree with you. There's something, and I think that's really special that you brought that up as a health practitioner, because sometimes I think people can get so nitty gritty with the results, but how are you meant to get a results when you can't see it, you know?
And I was in London not long ago, and I was in the tube and I saw for the first time maybe, a woman who had a proper lift, you know, facial lift.
Facelift.
You know, like I don't know why I don't facelift. I don't think I had seen, well, maybe I haven't seen before. Like it was obvious he had a facelift, you know, you could see the skin being like that pulled. And this woman had sadness into her eyes, you know. And I was feeling like, okay, you have maybe, you know, a jaw that is a bit lifted, but inside you are sad and you're not glowing. You know, you might have less droopy jawline, but you don't glow. You're not beautiful. I don't want to say that, it's not the right thing, but you're not showing, you're not glowing. And I was thinking sometimes maybe we focus on the wrong, because in the end we all want to be loved and we all want to be, you know, seen as beautiful in a way, you know. And maybe we're focusing on the wrong thing. We think, okay, once I'm gonna have the facelift, or once I have the injection of botox, when I don't have my line, when I don't have, you know, my boobs up, you know, I will be happy. But in the end, no. A lot of people, they regret. I follow other Instagram accounts of people who actually have done what they were supposed to do, and they're not happy, you know?
And they get them taken out, and they go through this massive internal transformation, like you were saying. They accept themselves as they are,
and that's and then when you meet somebody who resonates, who vibrates, you know, like so positively, with white hair, with some wrinkles, I don't know, it's more inspiring. So I don't know, it looks like we need to shift where we look, where beauty is, in a way. Anyway, that's depressing.
No, that's where the juiciness of the conversations that, you know, the people who need to hear this and us talking about it. That's great when we digress like that. But like, you know, that where's the sweet spot? Because you mentioned like, oh, my gray hair, like I'm not quite ready. I'm not
Yeah,
sure. Like you're kind of in that spot where, you know, I'm in my 30s and I'm like, oh, I see some lines like I want, you know, so I'm aware of it and you're aware of it, but I'm not fixated on it. You know, and I think that's where you draw the line, like you were saying, like you have to accept yourself, but you can also be the best version of yourself with natural treatments that support your body. Like that's why anti-aging naturopathic medicine, making sure you're, you know, helping to prevent osteoarthritis, you have healthy
yeah,
bones, you have, you know, a healthy brain with a proper essential fatty acids to help, you know,
hmm,
prevent all the types of mental, you know, things that can happen. So like there's so many different, that's why I love talking to you, because there's so many different things that we can do that, number one, support our health. And
yeah.
as a side effect, we glow. And that's,
Yeah, exactly.
mm, mm,
Exactly. Yeah.
mm,
And when we are balanced internally, it will manifest externally.
mm, mm,
And yeah, and we tend to focus our energy into fixing externally a problem
mm,
where we should focus internally.
mm.
I don't know. Yeah.
Have you seen in your clinical practice, you know, the scenarios, women coming in wanting to, you know, decrease fine lines and wrinkles on their forehead, for example, they start getting
Yeah.
some results, but then you really notice in your clinical case taking and how they're presenting each time that their confidence is changing, their glow is changing. So obviously, you know, in the start, they start to see progress, but then that changes. That's almost like just what they needed to go down that road of self-acceptance, you know, but it's in a healthy, controlled environment
Yeah.
because it's not something like Botox or, you know.
Yeah. You know, I saw so many. I mean, like it's beautiful when you're an acupuncturist. You also ask some personal question to people, and there
Yes.
is, you know, it's a fine line as well. You're not a psychotherapist, okay? So you need to,
Yes.
but you can feel, you know, sometimes some emotion that are out of balance. And as acupuncturist, we also put needles other than on the face. I mean, obviously,
Of
you know, to
course.
regulate some emotion. And when I do cosmetic acupuncture, I always you know, I talk with my patient beforehand, and when there is blockages, I'm thinking of few patients actually, and you can release these blockages. Some people, they cry, you know, and there is a release. They cry of the emotion being released. And together with the acupuncture, local cosmetic acupuncture, and some rebalancing of the body internally, it makes amazing result. I have some before and after picture. I mean, I didn't take enough, because it's always you know, it's not easy. I mean, you maybe know as well, taking a before and after picture is so difficult. But I
Yeah.
have a few, it's like another person. People don't believe. They say, oh, Sakina, you photoshopped the picture. No, I didn't at all. And it's amazing. It's the day and the night. But you could see there was also an internal change,
Mm.
as well as the wrinkle, you know, being less present.
I wish that we could somehow portray on social media the internal before and after that we see in our clients' lives to others to
Oh
inspire
yeah.
them, you know, that, you know,
Yeah.
and that's why we're doing this podcast, because that way
Yeah.
we can do that. Oh, amazing. And with the acne, like a lot of my students have active acne and they're moving
Uh-huh.
now, transitioning into wanting to clear out their acne scarring.
Yeah.
Have you had many people come to you for that specific reason, or did they come to you for acupuncture in the early stages of their active acne, or what
Or
stages of
everything.
acne treatment have you?
Everything.
Yep. And are you able to speak about acupuncture in areas within the body, and then also maybe cosmetic acupuncture and how that helps with people with active acne? And then how long does it take for people that you've found for them to get results that they're happy with to heal their acne scarring?
Okay, so okay, so okay, it's
Sorry.
a big question. So yeah, so for example, cystic acne. Cystic acne is my favorite acne. Well, I don't know if you should talk
No,
like that, but
yeah.
cystic acne. Okay, so it's a lot of toxic local heat, too much heat in the body. So in terms of Chinese medicine, we talk about the combination of heat and damp together, out of balance. And because there is too much toxic heat, the body is trying to expel the heat by creating this breakout. It's the body, the heat trying to come out. So there is a lot of diet and lifestyle advice that when we are acupuncturist, that comes with a treatment. Okay, and you know, like we talk about acupuncture, but acupuncture is actually one of the 5 pillars of traditional Chinese medicine, and diet lifestyle is two of the pillars. So it's very important to also talk about all the diet, but like local cystic acne, there is a technique. So as well as doing some point on the body to clear toxic heat, there is like a technique we call surround the dragon. So it's mainly putting the needle around the cyst, and then one in the middle. Okay, surrounding the dragon. And this one, after like massive cyst, I had some patient like on the face, on the groin area, like massive, and that is just magical.
Wow.
It's just magical. It's like it's really a treatment that works. I can only encourage anybody who has cystic acne to go to an acupuncturist and to tell them, do surround the dragon. Not everybody knows, the technique, but if you say surround the dragon, it's easy.
How long does it take for the cyst to be drained?
Few days. Few days. Honestly, it's kind of magical. And for the cyst, actually, when you do facial cupping, it's actually really helping a cyst to come down as well. So that's kind of, you leave the cup a little bit longer, so you might mark, but when you have a cyst, you don't mind too much. I don't know. So you leave the cup a little bit longer, and that will really help to move the stagnation and to clear the heat and clear the stagnation and to drain away the cyst. It's pretty amazing. For acne scarring, so I mean, you're the professional about acne, but there is mainly 2 different kind of acne scar, right? Depressed scar and the raised scar, and most of the people have the depressed scar, which is mostly a lack of collagen production and the fascia adhesion of the tissue. So that's where so with acupuncture, it's really good because you put the needle inside as well as the scar. And you can also use what we call a 7-star hammer. So it's a little head.
I've seen you doing that on your head.
Oh yeah. I wanted, what, I started to want to manufacture my own. Because it's in plastic, it doesn't exist in other plastic. And I had actually an engineer in the States doing the prototype. I've paid for prototype. It cost me a lot of money, but then I'm not going for it. I'm just thinking it's too dangerous to sell it because it's about blood. And I'm moving out of it because I'm just, scared for legal reason. But it's just, so I'm replacing that with something else. So it's really nice, but it's less invasive. But if you look online, 7-star hammer, and it's very cheap. It's made of plastic. That's what is annoying. It's plastic. But there is like this little 7 needle, derma needle, that stainless steel, and you just tap on your head. So that's good for the hair growth. But for acne scar, you do it it works as well for varicose veins. You want a bit of blood coming out, and that is really, it's a bit like a derma roller, actually.
That's what I was going to say. Very similar to micro rolling or dermal rolling.
It's very similar to that, and except there is a tapping, so there is some stimulation coming out of the tapping. And and then with the cupping, you want, so as I was saying before, you want to lift the fascia adhesion. So you're doing that, and you encourage the flow of blood, of chi, of lymph, and of collagen and fibroblasts to help to for the depressed scar to produce more collagen to repair the tissue. So it depends what kind of scarring you have and how deep it is. But with the prickly persiodol, because the vitamin E as well can help to smooth the damaged tissue.
Yes.
It can take, you can see a difference. I would say it depends if you have acupuncture as well. If you just do facial cupping, it will take a bit longer. But if you take, if you have at the same time cosmetic acupuncture, or you do some derma rolling and or 7-star needle, within 6 weeks, you can see really a massive difference.
Which is amazing. I've had students that have done ablative laser. They've done all types of treatments that are quite invasive. So to be able to have alternative techniques like this, where you're getting results in 6 weeks, and coming back to that positive side effects as well, because you're getting all these other amazing benefits that your body is receiving if you're doing, the cosmetic acupuncture as well. So with the acupuncture, like say someone had acne scarring and you're putting needles in other areas in their body as well. The second bypass, obviously that's helping in other areas, because you take a case notes and you're working on other things within the body, because the body is a whole being and all connected. What other types of ways is that, I don't know the right word, but helping clear the acne scarring than directly using the needles there? I'm just thinking like lymphatic, you're moving out all these extra fibroblasts and collagen. Like there's a lot of things moving in the body just from a TCM perspective. I know what I'm thinking, but just from
can you ask again the question? Sorry.
Yeah. So say someone had acne scarring and they're getting also acupuncture. How else is that acupuncture helping treat their acne scarring, even though it's not directly on the scar, for example,
Okay. So still so we will still do some like for example, I have a scar, but it's less and less visible on the forehead. So I would do some acupuncture directly into my scar, some facial cupping, and I will put also some distal needle, but still with the aim to move the blood and qi into in the area. Okay, so it will still be quite local. But then I would, as I said before, you also want the body to flow. I mean, the qi of the body to flow. So always very important to move the lymphatic system. So even you do dry brushing on your body, that will help indirectly. You will have a proper diet. Like not too much heat forming food, like actually meat, alcohol. Like for example, lamb is very heat forming. Spicy food as well is very heat for me. And it's interesting because I have a lot of people from India contacting me. It's like if I look into my statistic on Instagram, it's mostly it's the US, UK, and India.
Wow.
And that's very interesting. A lot of people from India send me messages about acne.
Hot.
Acne, acne. And it's almost the only thing they say, acne and dark circle. And it looks like, because of the diet in India, it's very spicy. I mean, my cousin, her mom is from Madagascar, Indian from Madagascar. And since she is a kid, she eats like, super spicy food, So the diet is super spicy. And they heat in a very damp. It's also damp and hot weather. And this combination is like acne forming, So heat, you don't want to have too much heat. So you just, educate a little bit your patient, because for you, sometimes it's just so obvious, like eating too much dairy, cheese, it will create, mucus. And our ice cream is cold and damp, and that creates too much damp. And sometimes, you see in the UK especially, they take a lot of milk. And you see a little kid in a restaurant, you can see he's snotty. You can see he is cold, and you see the parent giving him a hot chocolate, with cream. They always put cream and marshmallow in the UK. So it's so weird, but like you cannot anyway. So it's more like the milk creates more damp in the body. So I'm not saying never take any milk, but I'm just saying, if you have acne, try to avoid too much dairy, because especially if you live in a country like the UK where it's very damp, it will create more damp. I remember like also like I went to a supermarket not long ago, and there was a woman quite overweight in a little scooter.
Yep.
And she had on the scooter maybe 7 liters of milk. And I was thinking, no, you know, it's not gonna be good for you, you know, like it's like it's gonna create more damp, more like stagnation in the body. You could see she had like stagnation in the body.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, to make so when you have a patient coming for acne scar, you also help the flow of qi throughout the body, trying to remove any excess heat. But often when there is no more acne, the person has less heat in the body, so they must also have done something in their private life, I mean, to cut down on heating food. So spices, garlic, onion.
But like tea, you know, teas are hot. That's different. You know, it's a hot
no,
food.
it's different.
Heat doesn't mean hot.
Yeah, the heat doesn't mean hot. Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But if you want to cool down, you also want, it also mean heat. There is both. Like, for example, if you have a very hot country and you want to eat a cucumber, you know, it's very cooling. The nature of the cucumber is cooling, but if you put it in the fridge, it's even more cooling. Yeah, there is bit of the both. But yeah, now some hot teas are actually cooling. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more like the energy of the aliments.
Yeah, definitely. Because you can have certain herbs that have more of a cooling effect, astringent effect, but they're in a tea format. Yeah. And what have you found that it's probably not a popular question, but that has stopped people getting the results that you know that they could get? Obviously, simply you're not doing what you've told them, or, you know, following these, you know, guidelines of hot, cold, damp, you know, nutrition, lifestyle. But like, have you found that, you know, some people haven't got the results that they had hoped for, and you know, what are the reasons why people? Because, you know, so many of my acne students, they've had acne for years, you know, they've said, I've already been to acupuncturists, I've already been to naturopaths, you know, and things like that. And I'm always hearing this. So I'm just interested in what you're going to say about this.
I don't have many people who, maybe they just don't contact me, you know. I don't know. Or people who are not happy, you know. It's true, I have a lot of positive feedbacks, and maybe people who have negative feedbacks, they don't really tell me. I don't know. But somebody for acne, I don't have much negative. I mean, a lot of people have tried it all. I cannot think on the top of my head somebody telling me. People are telling me, yeah, they can see progress. When you have tried, okay, you know, like if nothing works, you know, like the next stage is to accept, you know, like I don't know what to, you know, like there is also something about you know, accepting that is very healing, and sometimes the acceptance can help to heal. You know, when you the more you focus on something that you don't like about you, and the more maybe it's also the only thing you see in the mirror, and maybe there is actually progress, but you don't see the progress. I always try to ask my patients to take a picture before, at least, you know, but for pain is the same. When somebody comes, you know, for back pain, I always ask them on a scale 0 to 1, because people forget. The thing is, like, but it's crazy, you know, crazy. People completely forget within 2 weeks that they were in so much pain. So it's a bit the same for beauty, cosmetic reason.
So true.
Sometimes you don't see the result because you too focused, and it becomes so big for you, you know, like you distort your own image, and you forget where you were coming from, and maybe you don't see the small, you know, progress. So it's a bit maybe to take a step back and starting to accept and have less anger, you know, like maybe it's also the anger that creates more problem. Like, I'm not making any progress, it's rubbish, nothing works.
More heat, more anger.
More heat, yeah, exactly. So I think there is something more internal to do, and then result will come. I mean,
that's perfect. Yeah, because I've seen a fair few people now, and from all different walks of life, and in this day and age, most of the women that I see, you know, working full time, busy mums and things like that. And I think they're in the society that we live now, we all have choices, but I believe that there has to be an environment where it's a healing space. You know, like you go into all of these practitioners and you're doing all the things. I'm doing everything you're telling me to do, you know, and it's not working. It's like, sometimes, you know, it's like when you're so busy and then you finally go on a holiday and then you get sick, you know, it's like, trying to create a space where you can heal, and, you know, and that's easier said than done, for myself and for my patients. But I just think it's good to talk about that.
No, I'm just back from holiday, and we spent 1 week in Sicily. And
oh my God, that's so amazing.
Yeah, it was amazing. But with my husband, it took 3 days for my kid and me to just, you know, starting to be on holiday mood. And with my husband, we were like, oh my God, we must be so stressed at home. You know, like we don't realize the amount of stress, we have. And as you said, like you don't need to have children, but busy, you know, parents with a full-time job, not necessarily, we don't have any help around us. You know, our parents are not in the country, and we're doing everything ourselves, and it's so difficult to that amount of stress is going to bring more acne in a way. Acne, I'm talking about that, but acne, wrinkles, stress, health issues, you know.
Yeah, I think it's good that we're bringing this up and people can later, you know, hear this and it, you know, if I had thought about that when I had my chronic acne, then I would have gone, oh, yes, okay, I need to take more ownership and responsibility of what's happening in my life and try to just put in little practices if things are, you can't even find a way out, you know, meditation in whatever form that is a holistic way and a long-term way of treating the cause of your acne and living a life that you glow. It's not a quick fix.
But it's not a quick fix, but I feel, you know, social media has a positive and negative, and I feel social media can really help because you can connect with a community that has the same issue. Like, for example, at the moment, I'm talking about this white hair, you know, like, and I want to follow more women, you know, and I just asked somebody, I forgot to reply, actually, Mandy, somebody who is an aromatherapist in the UK, and I didn't read the reply, actually, but I just asked her yesterday, when did you stop? Because I feel I'm 43, I'm going to be 43. And between 40, I don't know, like my age, 42 to 55, there is this transition period where the aging goes much faster. Like even from a traditional Chinese medicine point of view, from 42, it's like, it's gone, it's going, you know, you're going on the other side, you know, and this transition is difficult for women, I feel like.
Because you're at the start of the transition, you're at the age.
And it's and we don't talk, you know, I mean, like, I feel I'm so grateful for all these women coming out with their white hair, with their wrinkle, and they are so beautiful, honestly, they're glowing, and I feel this what is difficult is when you have friends who go, like we have a friend with another friend who is like 49, and each time we see her, she's always more beautiful in a way, like younger. But so we so, what are you doing? But no, in fact, she's doing little botox, and it's just, she does it perfectly well, you know. And she's a yoga teacher, she's very toned, and it's difficult because when you're around these people, they give you you know, like, it's difficult. It's important to have also the friend that wants to follow the natural path. You know what I mean? To be able to as a society, to, you know, if you have your friend, you know, you're growing older, you're glowing, but you have the botox next to you, and you have you know, you can be tempted to go that route as well. I mean, the environment, and that's why I feel like social media can be good, because you can really connect with people from all over the world that are going through, you know, like the people I follow on Instagram, they're going through the natural route. And it's inspiring. You say you want to be part of this community, which you might not have locally, you know. You know what I mean? Like physically. So for acne is the same. I mean, I'm sure you have a community, people following you, people, I don't know about acne too much, but I'm sure there is like a lot of community about accepting as well, and I feel you feel not alone. And that's also the beauty of social media. I mean, we talk about all the negative side effects, but there is also positive of social media.
Yeah, and also, you know, like a couple of times I've broken out and I've had a lot of vulnerability about showing I'm meant to be this acne expert as a naturopath, and I've broken out in acne. And I'm, you know, it's a big thing. We're all learning, whether you're the health practitioner. I don't like to see myself on a pedestal at all. We're all doing this together. We're all learning. I know exactly why I've broken out. That's the main thing. It's the education. It's the knowledge around why you've broken out, what you can do now to treat it. We're all not perfect. This perfect filter doesn't exist in life. We have the gray hair. Sometimes we break out. You know, it happens. People that say it doesn't happen, then they're lying, because it does happen. So I think it's good to also be realistic with your goals and your idea of beauty. Like you're saying. I have two people that come to mind that are on a similar journey to you. I'll send to you later on Instagram. Yeah, I think you would really like to follow them and check out their stuff. One is an acupuncturist, actually. So this transitions beautifully into, you know, facial cupping and cosmetic acupuncture being a great alternative to botox, and you've talked about that on your Instagram. But how many women ask you questions like, what comes up for them? Can I still get facial acupuncture if I've had botox? Can I still do the
so a question every week.
Can I still do the cupping, and how does this work? And
so over botox, I mean, it's a bit different than fillers, but it's better not to do cupping directly on the botox. I know the botox disintegrate, that's a word, I'm not even sure, like within 2 weeks. So no matter what, no cupping at all over 2 weeks, because you don't want to migrate any of the drug in other places. Filler is even worse. I mean, you just don't cup over fillers. You just don't do it. After, I'm quite careful saying, like, wait until the effect of botox have worn out before doing any cupping. But scientifically, you could do, because you're not gonna move the botox after 2 weeks. But I prefer to say no. I prefer to say just wait until it's gone out. For fillers, it's a complete no. It's quite powerful to do cupping, so you don't want to move anything, So it's better for like, if you've done botox on the, I don't know, whatever line on the forehead, just forget the forehead for 2-3 months, and then you can start cupping. For fillers, just don't do it.
How many women have you transferred over or transitioned over into this more of a natural way, which is results driven? You know, and how many women just didn't know that this was available? You know, like when they kind of come to you, like say someone's had botox, and you know they've discovered you, and they're reversing what they've done with the botox.
It's difficult to say. Like in my own practice, the thing is, like, I attract, like also you attract your vibe, attract your tribe. And for some reason, I don't attract too many botox. I had few, but I cannot say I had hundreds. That's interesting. It's more on internet, on Instagram, it's a bit different. I had a few people sending me testimonials about botox, but not, I mean, the thing is, like, I don't know what over Instagram, I think I'm touching, the more women on Instagram that have bought the cup and are doing facial cupping than on my private practice. I mean, it's physically and internet is different. So I cannot give you a number, because I have no idea. I really don't know. People don't on Instagram. People send me a testimonial, which I screenshot. I absolutely love the testimonial. And a few have botox, but I guess it's more than a few. I mean, I don't know, because I sold thousands of cups. I cannot give you a number. I don't know. I really don't know.
I don't necessarily need a number. It's just really helpful, I think, to have an open conversation about it. And if you've done it, be open-minded as practitioners to it, that's your choice, but here's what we can do. Here's alternatives. This is what works. This is why it works. In a day and age where we have everything at our fingertips, I don't want to assume, but you would likely think that people could look up the side effects of Botox or what it's actually doing in your body. But sadly, when companies are wanting to sell Botox and clinics are wanting to get women in and doing this, they don't have acupuncturists working with them in their clinic. Sadly, some women are misled, but I like to think this day and age, women are very empowered with the power of the internet and things like that.
Yeah.
That and only now, you can talk to this more than me, now that they are understanding, more women I see are understanding the effects of Botox and fillers and plastic surgery. In where I live in Australia, which is a bit more rural and beachy and things like that. But yeah, I don't know if you've picked up that as well from a collective.
Again, it's a question of tribe. So I went to a beauty show like last October, the year before, and it was a bit random. It was a friend who had a business. She couldn't make it. She said, Sakina, 2 weeks before, if you want, you can have a stand in this massive beauty show.
Yeah.
So in 2 weeks, I had to prepare everything. It was quite fun, but yeah, I wouldn't do it again anyway. I mean, it's but well, I could do it again. But anyway, so over there, I was so impressed. Maybe 80% of the people I had Botox, but you could see it. You could see it. The lips. So many women have lips filler. You know, lips. The thing.
Yeah.
Oops, running out of battery. You're here.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah, you could see so much. Botox was done, filler was done, and I was kind of not almost the only one, but showing something natural. You know, that was interesting. So I don't know. I don't know about the society, because it depends. Like for example, on my Instagram or on my TikTok, it's all the natural things that are coming to me because it's what I'm interested in. But somebody who interested in Botox, they see thousands of accounts with the Botox. So I cannot say if the society is changing or not. I'm confused about that. Because I say, in my community, yes, but it's my world. But is it the same for somebody else's world? And you know how social media works. They go where your interest is, which is quite pervert in a way, you know. But so I don't know. So for example, the hairdresser I go to, she also does Botox. And she's fully booked with Botox. You know, like after her hair, she will go to you know, a Botox thing, and I don't know how much she's trained. I mean, I don't know. And that's a world, you know. She said it's what people want. So for her world, in her world, everybody has Botox. In my world, people want to go natural. What's the truth? I don't know. I don't know if the society is changing, but what I like to see is influencers, you know, in their 50s, 60s, going natural, glowing. And that's the world I want to go to. So it's difficult for me to answer this question because I'm not sure.
Yep. No, that's perfect. Perfect answer. I like to be optimistic, and you know, obviously I'm in this industry, similar industry to you, and yeah, I feel like from the conversations that I've had in the past to what I'm having now, people are more open-minded to natural. Like you look at the quality of makeup that we have that is, you know, natural, as opposed to what we had, you know, 8 years ago when I was studying naturopathy, you know.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So yeah, I'm hoping that goes that way, and I hope that people aren't being misled and think do anything like this, then you know, do your research, and get both sides of, you know. Yeah. So in regards to, like, you know, you have some amazing Instagram reels on your social media about what techniques to use and things like that. Is that the best for people? Because people are asking, oh, what do I do for this line? What do I do for this line? You know, it's specific to the person's face, what they're trying to achieve, or is it just the best to go on, follow you, like book in with you?
No, the best is to follow a protocol. So I really like for example, when you have a double chin, you know, you want to work on your double chin, for example, with gua sha, with the cups. Okay, but if your lymph node here are blocked or are like congested, you might move here. Might move some blood, but you're not gonna move the lymph. The lymph is not gonna drain. Okay, so that is, for example, a misconception. A misconception about people don't know. I mean, I don't know about the lymph. The lymph, we need to start at the neck because it returns at the terminus region. It returns back to the heart, and we need to clear the ending to be able to drain the rest of the face.
Yes.
So even if we want to work, for example, on puffy eyes, you want to work just on the eyes. Well, you can do that. But if the node here are congested around your ears, you're still gonna retain some fluid. So if you want to really drain any puffiness, you need to start at the neck, down the neck, always down the neck. I love the brush. I love brushing down the neck. And that's the lymphatic system really is just at the surface, just beneath the surface of the skin. So it needs to be so gentle. We feel we need to be hardcore, but no, just a bit of brushing. You can do it with a cup as well, but I prefer with a brush down the neck, just to open up, to prepare the lymph duct to receive more fluid. And then if you want to work, I don't know, on your jawline, then you do your jawline.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So on my reels, it's a bit annoying because I focus just on one line. So you can do that. For scarring, it's different. For scarring, it's a bit different. But you can just focus on the locally, although it's best full protocol. So even if you're working on your, like for example, even you want to work on your nasolabial fold, marionette line, you want to relax the whole area. Like we treat, even in traditional Chinese medicine, we treat the body as a whole. So it's the same for the face. You can focus on one area, but you will have better results if you focus on the whole area. So if you, with my cups, I show the protocol, a full protocol. And once at least, it's only 5 minutes. It doesn't take long,
No.
But it's better to have you can just work on one line, but, you need to also relax your jaw. If you want to relax your marionette line, it's best if you also work on your jaw line. It's best just to know a little bit. It's simple. It's really not complicated. But it's better to treat the face as a whole. To focus on part, and then you spend more time on the line you want to work on.
Yes. Have you done much research into the buccal facial massaging where they have gloves and they put their hand in?
I don't know what, so, on social media I have some issue with face yoga. Sometimes the face, you have on your screen somebody opening the mouth to you and showing all the intraoral stuff. I don't know. For me, it's a bit like, oh, I cannot watch it. But I don't know. I don't know. I haven't looked into it. I know what you're talking about. Yes, it must be very good. You can achieve the same with a cup. I mean, you're really when it's like negative pressure or with massage. Yeah. I mean, for TMG, for example, it's excellent. I haven't done much research. It just annoys me I don't like to see it on internet.
Oh, that's funny. It's like a bit of a thing at the moment. But I was researching the other day and they were saying, I don't know whether it's the vagus nerve, but they were saying something when they're doing the buccal, women hold more tension in that jaw area. And they were saying there's some nerve or some connection in the pelvic area where they were releasing here and women were having results being more open in regards to like their pelvic area, their yoni,
very
things like that. So I haven't gone, but I thought it was interesting.
That's very interesting. But you could really do the same with the cupping here. But what do I want to say? The connection of the body, the connection, between here and here. So I didn't know about the connection with the pelvic area, but there is, microsystem throughout the body.
Yes. Do you find that, I know when I look at an acne face map, being on their cheeks, more gut congestion, hormones, things like that is what I've studied and I've been taught. Do you find in regards to lines, forehead lines, 11 lines, marionette lines, the energy and the emotion, is a part of your clinical practice, do you talk about, those types of energies is there an energy or an emotion associated to the line to where
it's fantastic. I mean, so I wanted to take a course with Lillian Pearl-Bridge, which is kind of the main, how do you say, the expert in the ancient Chinese medicine facial reading.
Yeah.
So I read the book and it's fascinating. And I was always postponing, you know, I could just book. It was quite expensive, but it was just a one-to-one. It was like 300, or you could also have a course. Anyway, and I was postponing the thing, and she died. She died last year.
Oh,
Like
no.
randomly, she was 56, I think, or yeah.
Oh,
And
no.
so I'm like, oh my God, I really miss my opportunity. You know, sometimes when you postpone things. Anyway, so she's amazing. She learned everything from her grandmother, and I learned from, you know, from the book, from what I didn't take the course, but from reading and whatever I could find on podcast. Yeah, it's all, oh, it's so nice. You know, like for example, in Chinese, the nasolabial fold, like cause Fao. I think it's Fao. It means purpose line. So when they are quite deep, which means like if you have them, you're more likely to have more purpose in your life. But when they are really deep, it can come also from something in the past, in your ancestry, like having too much impact on your life now.
Wow.
That's interesting. Oh, this one, the disappointment line. So that's very interesting. When you have the marionette line, it's a bit like maybe you have too much expectation in your life, or the life is not taking the right turn you would like to take, and you're developing this line, or you have the lost love line that are just under the eyes, when sometimes maybe you're too much in the past, you're living what you know, you're missing your young self and cannot really move forward. Or this one, the lion line, which is called the suspended sword in Chinese medicine, because the line is linked in the liver area, and if you have it very deep, you can have it in your 20s, very deep. It's like sometimes it's repressed anger, or you had a very I don't know, a dominant parent that was very angry, and you grew up thinking anger is not good, and so you're trying to repress the anger. But they say, like in Chinese medicine, the sword is a problem, or the emotion that are not linked with this wrinkle and not dealt with. The sword can fall and cut your foot, and you won't be able to move forward in life. So when I meet somebody who has a very deep single, you know, not the 11 lines, a single line in the middle. Sorry. Yeah, when I meet somebody who has this very deep line, I always feel, I don't know, a connection. There's something happened in the past, you know. And or you have many different lines, the suffering line as well. And I was watching, you know, in the UK, you know about the little girl that was abducted, Madeline.
Madeline.
So Madeline, so for example, the parents, they have this line coming out of that, and it's a suffering line. You can see they have suffered, and you can read. I mean, it's really
it's amazing.
You start to you can see or hear the fear when somebody has a crimple chin.
Dimple, like a
kind of dimple. It's also the fear, holding too much fear. And there is also that's interesting. It was who told me that? Who said? No, it was Chelsea sending me somebody asking about the vertical line, but not in the forehead. Here,
just above the eyebrow.
Eyebrow or somewhere in the forehead, and it's quite rare. My dad has it. But I was interesting because it's very. Imagine what kind of expression can you do to make this line, you know? And it's called the transformational line. So somebody, like, something happened, like a massive shift transform in their life. Something happened, you know.
Wow.
It was Chelsea asking me for somebody asking for this line, and I was like, oh, that's quite a rare line. If you see it, you know, in the street, like, I don't see it very often, this line. So you can, the map is like, you can read somebody. You can read the life of somebody kind of on the line they have. It's beautiful.
Is the 11 lines the same as that vertical one sword line going
no,
up
it's not.
face?
It's less.
It's different.
It's less.
It's less.
The suspended needles rather than sword.
Okay.
They can still pinch you know. They can still pinch, but if they fall. So but these lines, you know, they can come and go quite easily in a way. Like when you're more relaxed, the line can go. And it's also a lot of so cupping can really help for that, and trying to become aware of when you frown your eyes. So you can put some tape during the day, or ask, and just to be aware, when are you frowning? I have a good
Yes.
friend, I saw her yesterday, and each time she talks, she does like that. I said, but you don't need to frown your eyes when you're doing,
You don't even know you're doing it.
No,
Yeah.
that's it. So putting some tape is quite good to become aware.
Yes.
Like each time you frown, the tape will scringe. Contract. So you just try to become aware when you're frowning.
Yes.
So you can let go and do some cupping.
Yes. And is there any, like, I know people have asked me this question. Can people make a mistake doing this or not? It's literally like, what's the biggest mistake you can do doing facial cupping? Like,
if you do it, no. I mean, like everything, you need to be careful. I mean, you don't want to do it on a too thin skin.
Yep.
That I've learned by doing. One of my patients. Oh my goodness. Oh, when you receive a phone call when you do something wrong,
no.
the husband called me, and
the husband called.
It was horrible. Oh my god! But she was very kind, and she was very accepting and stuff. I did cupping, facial acupuncture, and cupping on somebody who had the skin was too thin. She was purple the whole face. I mean, it's okay physically. It's okay. Actually, it's good. The blood flows but she was like, she looked like she had been beaten. Honestly, like when you're a practitioner, when you do a mistake, how it feels. It's horrible. I hate that.
Okay, so I've bruised myself. I'm just putting it out there because I had my girlfriends over, and we have this night. It's called Real Hot Girl Shit. I don't know if I should say that on here, but we do, people think hot girl shit like going out, getting makeup, getting drunk. Our hot girl shit is like doing facials on each other, getting massage,
that's so cool.
like, doing. And that's so I brought out I got the facial cups, right? And they hadn't done it before. And I'm telling them, do this and stuff. But I said, don't leave it for too long, because I think people are like,
put enough oil.
This isn't going to, just a little bit, suction.
Yeah.
Because you don't think, and you're just walking around the house doing it. I bruised myself.
So you can do it too much. So it's okay. Physically it's not an issue. It's actually good for your skin. Just aesthetically it's not so nice, and so it's very easy to overdo it because it feels so nice.
It does.
So it's quite kind of addictive. So that's why I mean, the cups come with the protocol. Just I've put as well a protocol where I don't talk, because I can talk too much, it's annoying. So you can just watch the video, just me doing it, just to have an idea how many strokes, and just to do it. So you need to put enough oil, and make sure it's on a clean skin, because anything you will put on your skin will be absorbed with the cupping. So good oil, prickly pear seed oil, my favorite, and you just repeat just 3 times to start with, and you need to put enough oil. So often mistake is to not put enough oil, to repeat the stroke too much, and that will leave some bruising, but that's the most common mistake.
I would just told them, I said, do it, but just don't leave it too long, because that's what I did.
And put enough oil. It's like we need to be kind of shiny, so really the cup can glide. And it's that's it.
Oh, good. I just thought it's good to mention that, because people are like, oh, this is too good to be true. I'm going to be doing this, leaving it on, doing whatever. I was doing the washing, doing it, and
that's it. It's so easy. I mean, we all been here. We just do it too much, because it's so nice. Just follow the protocol.
All right. Well, finishing up, I'll ask you a couple more questions. I know people are pretty obsessed, and I am, with, everybody's daily rituals and things like that. And I know it's specific on your skin and what you're working on, but you're the facial cupping expert. So what does a morning routine and a night ritual look like for you, and your skincare, and your waking up and winding down? I know you're a mom. But I love to hear this.
So I never wash my face. I mean, well, I don't put makeup. The thing is, I put very little makeup, just sometimes a bit of mascara if I do a reel to look better, and sometimes a bit of powder, but like nothing else. So I just use, like, you might say, oh my god, it's so bad, but unless I go for a facial, or unless I feel like it, like, which is very not ever. I just put micellar water on my face,
Yes.
you know, and that's how I clean my face. But I don't put, I mean, everybody's different. If you have like a lot
Yes.
of makeup, you need to double cleanse and blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
But I feel, especially in the morning, you really don't need to clean your face. Maybe it's another point of view, but anyway. So you want to
Yes.
keep your oil. You want to keep, I think we're doing just too much to our face.
Yes.
So I'm like really very minimalist. So
Yes.
SPF in the morning.
Mhm.
Aesop is actually an Australian brand.
Yes.
That's my
Yes.
favorite. That's it. And my sunglasses, you know, that's it. It's a moisturizer with SPF. That's it. No, morning. I mean, when I wake up, I do my brushing. I really love my
you do your
brushing.
facial brushing. Now, everybody, that's different to a big dry body brush. Sakina has her own dry body brushes, like a smaller version specific for the face. They're
for the
really
face.
cute.
It's just so nice.
Yeah, I want to get
so
one.
Yeah, they come in two. It's really nice. So it takes like 1 minute. Then I generally have breakfast. Then I come back. I just put some. I have a shower. I don't put any water on my face. Micellar water. And then I have. So then I go in the guest room. I don't know. It's my little ritual, and I put the deodorant. You know, it's like the new deodorant.
Yes.
I put my SPF. I put some cream on my feet because they're dry, and I do some body brushing.
Yes.
Which I often do after my shower, but I should do it before my shower. I mean, for the facial brush, it's easy in the morning.
Yes.
But dry brushing, I like it after my shower. But
do you do that?
It doesn't take long.
You dry yourself and you're like naked, and then you do your dry body brushing.
Yeah, well, I have my shower. Yeah, I go on this guest bed and I go on. I love this little moment. You know, put my feet deodorant. It's a cream deodorant, face. And then I remove I'm naked. I remove my my towel and I do the body brushing because I love it. But I'm trying to sell a body brush. I cannot find it because the one I have is from Elemis.
Yes.
But it's really harsh and I don't think I should sell it. But for me, I love it so much. Anyway, that's another story. And what else do I do? And then in the evening, I remove I just clean with the micellar water. Not everybody agrees with that. I understand, but I don't have put much thing on my face, as I said. And then I will put prickly persil oil all the time. Prickly persil oil. So I do it if I do facial cupping. I do it sometimes when the kids are in the bath. Like sometimes I'm like, you know, I do my video. I'm in front. You know, it looks all calm and stuff. But sometimes they are in the bath and I'm actually picking up the clothes while I'm doing my cupping. You know what I mean? I say one day I should do a real video of what does it mean to do facial cupping with kids. I'm walking between one room, putting their dirty clothes into the laundry, doing my cupping, you know?
Yeah.
But I do it at the same time as the bath. Like it's around, you know, between 5, 6, 7, between this time. So like that, I'm clean for the rest of the evening. I really like to have an early PM routine. Very PM. And if I don't do my cupping, I just put the oil. Oil is like, I need the oil. I cannot have without the oil, you know? And that's it. That's really the only thing I do. And I treat myself to some facial from time to time, which they properly clean my face. But that's it.
Oh, amazing. That's really inspiring to a lot of people, and including me. But when you're so passionate about skincare and you learn about all the different, you know, frankincense oil, and, you know, you've got the prickly pear, and then you've got boab seed oil, and then, you know, you just I get so excited. So that's really nice that you found what works for you, and it's simple.
Yeah, that's it. It's super simple.
And
almost no battery. Oh.
Okay, we'll finish up soon. One last question for you, Sakina. What does it mean, and we've talked about this at the start, but what does it mean to you to glow from the outside in and the inside out?
Yeah, well, that's interesting because I'm really focusing on this question at the moment, and I'm looking at women, you know, and on social media, in the street, and yeah, so the glow will come with first internally. If somebody, like, for example, there was this woman, she didn't have white hair, but she had orange hair, you know, like a very pushy, like she was, I don't know, 55, and she was glowing. She had lots of makeup, you know, so it wouldn't be my style, but for her, it was glowing because it was matching her personality. So it's very cliche what I'm going to say, but it's really to try to find what resonates deeply with yourself, you know, when you are on the right path, you know, when you know you are where you're supposed to be, and it means to not copy somebody.
Yes.
You know, it's really trying, but it's not easy. I mean, it sounds very easy to be yourself. And the thing is that try to become who you're supposed to be in life. And that's, I think, you will glow in a way. You know, like when you're a mom, you know, it's a lot about, you know, like, do you, I don't know what's the word again, lead fed. I'm past this stage, you know, but when do you leave your kids, you know, lead feeding, how do you call it? I forgot this word. It was a big thing. When you're a mom, you let, instead of doing puree, you let your kid eating whatever.
Oh, solid food?
Yeah, like solid food. It's baby led feeding.
Oh, baby
anyway,
led
it's a big
feeding.
thing. When you're a mom, you're a new mom, you have this kid, and it's like people say, oh, you should or you shouldn't. Very different point of view. But just do what works for you. You know, if you are, you know, what I mean is like there is no right answer. The thing is like you really need to find out what works for you, and it will be the right answer. If you're happy to deal with the mess, which I wasn't ready to deal with the mess of baby-led feeding, when you have, you know, the kids that do whatever and you have mess all over.
Yes.
It's a big thing, you know. I think in the US, in the UK, and me, I couldn't deal with it. I want to puree my food and give myself so there is no mess. Anyway, it's not about me being right. It's just me. I cannot deal with the mess of the food all over the house. So I need to puree my food. So it's not it's a right answer for me. You know what I mean? So for skincare, it's the same. For beauty, it's the same. It's like dyeing my hair. Like the woman with orange hair, she was glowing because you could see she was in phase with herself. She was who she was to. She was like with this big lipstick.
She was
and
embodied. She was embodied. Yeah,
exactly. And I love that. Or you have somebody that is, you know, with another woman I did a retreat with. She had like, you know, like hair under the armpit, hair on the leg, and she was glowing because she was like true with what she was, you know. So I think the glow comes when you match who you are, you truly find who you're supposed to be, which is not an easy task. And it's very difficult because when you have like, instead of learning at school again, you know, to develop what you're supposed to develop, what are you really interested. So we are not pushed in this direction. And social media maybe can help or can do the opposite, you know. It's a really, social media, I feel like, try to find your vibe, who resonate with you, who do you want to follow, and then try to after listen to podcast. I mean, I'm learning myself, you know, what I'm attracted to, you know, like, and when I need to stop and well, you know, and I have this conflict about the white hair, you know, but I hope I'm gonna deal with it soon, you know, like, you know. Anyway, it's so the glow for me comes from the flow of being who you are supposed to be, and being, and then you will radiate, white hair or orange hair, you know, that
How has this changed? Because of obviously you're at this stage of life where you're now going into being like 43 and going 50. This, like you said at the start, that age bracket. How do you feel like this conversation topic has changed from when you before you had kids? You know, before you had kids and you're in a different stage of life. Like I see a lot of women really having this silver hair, long, curly silver hair, whatever they want, and really embracing who they are. Why do we have to wait until after we have kids, we give to the kids, or we get older to become more, you know, obviously that comes with being wiser and knowing yourself more, but what can we do now? Like, let's do it now. Let's get really in touch. Let's not care what other people think and go for it, you know?
Yeah, but at the same time, it's experience, I guess. I mean, I don't know. It's we need to make mistake in a way. We learn from our mistake. I don't know, like, even having, like, I met my husband, I was 33, which is supposed, but now I feel it's young, you know, but it's kind of, it felt late at that time. But I was so happy to have all this relationship before, to have done all this mistake, to know that when I met him, it was him. I think as well with everything in life, it's like, we wish we had the wisdom. I mean, not everybody is wise at 70. Sometimes it's not true. Wisdom doesn't necessarily come with age.
True.
But if you're working on yourself, yeah, it would be nice to have the knowledge or the where we are now 10 years earlier, but the problem is like we're learning by the mistake. So unfortunately, I don't know, unless you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because you
it's
can see
learning.
women, embodied women that are younger women as well. So, you know, a portion of it comes through ancestry, lineage, maybe, you know, that individual person themselves, what they think about themselves, who they talk to. There's so many different factors, but I agree with what you're saying. Like, we have to follow this and embody. You know, you walk down the street wearing orange hair, whatever you want to wear, you look beautiful, you feel beautiful, it doesn't matter, but
Yeah,
you're
you
gonna
feel, and it
you're
shines.
going to feel people judging you, you know, and anything you do, you're going to
Not necessarily, you know, like if you really are in tune with who you are, people are going to admire you, not judging you. I think so. Huh?
yeah.
It's like if you really shine and you really glow. I mean, yeah, you're true. Yeah, no matter what you do, people will judge. But if you
But I
really,
agree, people admire, but they might come across like they're judging you because they don't have the confidence to go, wow, you're really beautiful, you know.
they will show. I mean, somebody like, yeah, there is an energy with confident people, no, and whatever
I
they're
love to
wearing
give
is
compliments, and you know, maybe that's something that we can take away, and a positive thing we can do to
yeah.
encourage this mindset of embodying and really feeling beautiful, is to give people more compliments. If you think it, just say it.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Oh, totally. I'm totally for women also empowerment. I mean, I totally,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
totally, yeah.
I agree. Beautiful answer. Thank you so much for coming on
Thank you, Haley.
my podcast today. And tell all the listeners where they can find you on Instagram, your handle and your website, and what you offer, and then they can contact you.
Yeah, Instagram is the best. I mean, the facial
Yeah.
cupping expert, and then there is link to my website, and that's it.
Perfect. Oh, amazing. Thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you,
And I've
Haley.
really loved connecting with you on Instagram. And I'll send through those Instagram handles of those two lovely women that I know that are in my community, that I don't, one I know personally and one I don't know, but I even follow them and think, oh my God, this is amazing what they're doing. So it's all about spreading that positive vibes, and yeah, here's to more women of the world really harnessing the glow that they always knew they had and expressing it.
Oh, nice. Nice. I like that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Haley.
Have a beautiful rest of your day. I will stop there. I've recorded it, and I will try to give you, if you'd like a copy, I can give you a copy and put it onto Google Drive and link you in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Would you like a copy of this interview
Yeah,
today?
definitely. I tried to record myself as well with the other thing, but it ran out of battery.
Yeah.
I'm just learning, because a lot of people on social media now, that's why I don't have much battery, because I'm using the other phone. I'm trying, because I see a lot of people with reel, they're actually being taken from a podcast. So I did the same today. I try, but I don't know what I do.
I'll just work out how much space it's going to take, but give me a couple of days and I'll work out how I can send it to you. Yeah, I can send it to you.
Thank you so much.
Lovely to meet you online, and you know, I'll get some feedback and we might have you back on again, or just keep in contact. And it's so beautiful to have this collaboration on the other side of the world.
Yeah, I love that as well. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Haley.
Bye.